minutes in. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Johns Farms Paddock Stakes.
Very good evening and welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. As usual, we've got a fun-packed show. We've got some news pertaining to both the breeding season, also some racing news, and nice to catch up with an interesting lineup. And with me, obviously, is Julie Alexander. Julie, nice lineup for the show.
Lovely lineup, Grant, and lovely to have you back in the hot seat in the studio here in Gauteng. So, welcome back to Breeding to Win.
Yeah, lovely to be back here. I've got a couple of race meetings to come see and working in the studio, 1 or 2 shifts as well. So nice to be back in Joburg as well. But always nice to do the show with you. And yeah, I think it's a nice show. And great to be back racing at Durbanville. I don't know whether you caught any of the Durbanville.
I have.
That track looks amazing.
Looks amazing, and I think it's a fair track. I think when you look at it, they've done a superb job. I think the horses are relishing in it, and I think the jockeys are enjoying it. So I think it's going to be good all way.
Well, what we've seen so far is that the horses can win from being handy, they can win from coming off them. And every trainer that I spoke to, because I was there, not in working capacity for Teletrack, but I was sitting at a table inside the restaurant. New caterers, the food was really good as well. And both the trainers that I spoke to, Vaughan Marshall being one of them, he says, not one of his horses that he raced there have pulled up sore in any way. The track runs beautifully, it's fair, corner off. I got off and said, the best track he's ever ridden on. So full compliments to the guys that were behind the scenes there and putting that all together. And they've done a great job. Dean Diedrichs, obviously the track manager down in the Western Cape. Top marks to you. And let's hope that Durbanville racing now flourishes. Certainly, we shouldn't have any problems with field sizes. And we should have no problems getting people to attend there as well.
Well, there you go. And that's fantastic news for racing. Of course, for the owners, for the trainers, for the jockeys, including the supporters of the game and the punters.
Absolutely. And it's called the country track. And that's exactly what it was. Julie, was midweek. There were kids, obviously, school holidays. Kids playing on the grass, kicking balls around. Lovely atmosphere. If you want to get a nice racing atmosphere, Durbanville Racecourse is the place to go.
So obviously brought back some memories for you, Grant, being so young.
Oh, that's long time ago, I tell you.
Okay, well, let's take a look at what you can look forward to on tonight's show. As Grant pointed out, a fun show we've got in store for you as we start with a catch-up with Piet Botha. And of course, he comes back to the saddle. The Breeding to Win team visits Lama Scroll Stud. We profile Louis the King. We visit Global View at Ascot. And last but not least, we go and see how Red Ray is doing at Klavervlei Stud.
Minding hits the front in the Oaks. Her 1,000 guineas success. Minding outclassed them. Architecture gallant in defeat. It's coming with a challenge and moves through into second. And it's Tarzan who has won the Investec Derby.
A length and a half away. He's 2 lengths in front. Chrome turns to gold. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid.
Absolute thriller going to the line. It's Durban July.
Well, after 6 years out of the saddle, Cape Townian jockey Piet Botha decided to make a comeback to horse racing earlier this year. The Breeding to Win team caught up with Piet and files this report.
We're in the beautiful Durbanville Hills this afternoon to catch up with jockey Piet Botha. Now, Piet was a jockey for many years before having an accident and has recently made a very successful comeback.
Piet, it's lovely to have you back in the saddle again and watching you on the track. Just tell us a little bit how you started out originally as a jockey at the academy.
Thanks, Fee. Thanks very much. I think this is a great opportunity for me as well. My father said to me, I actually didn't want to be a jockey, so yeah, I had no real interest in it, but my father, I think, regretted that he never became a jockey, and so he sent me, and that was back in 92 when I joined the academy. Did my first 3 years in Durban and then moved up here in 95 and been here ever since.
And when you first moved to Cape Town, you had great success with Glenn Puller at Milnerton.
Yeah, actually when I first moved down I struggled, and I think after some time they actually said to me, look, I'm not going to make it as a jockey, so they gave me a time period in which if something happened, great. If not, they were going to cancel my license, and I moved across to Glen, and things just happened when I got there. You know, Glen was obviously very hard at the time. I think we had a lot of fights and that, but we had a great relationship in the long run, and things happened, and I ended up being champion apprentice from there. So I think my move to Glen is really what saved me.
But it all sadly came crashing down in 2010 when you had a nasty fall in Durban, is that correct?
Yes. It actually wasn't really a nasty fall, so it's quite unfortunate everything that happened, because I fell off and I was a bit sore at the time, but I never thought it was going to be anything really serious, and things just never got better, and I think it was because of the doctor that I had seen at the time just misdiagnosed everything. Eventually, when they realized that, you know, what they were originally treating me for was not the main injury, and when they sorted it out, it was a bit late, and I think the damage was already done. So did a lot of treatment trying to come back, but eventually the doctors just decided, look, it's never going to change.
And it was a back injury, which is obviously crucial for riding.
Yeah, not really. I think most people have always thought it was back or shoulder. It was actually nerve injury. That's what it was. So I damaged the nerves, and I get a lot of pain in the back, and I get a lot of pain in the shoulder because of the nerves. But the problem was actually the nerves.
And in your early years, like quite a few jockeys, you actually spent some time in Mauritius.
I love Mauritius. I really do. To me, Mauritius is probably also some of my favourite times of riding. I really enjoyed Mauritius. I was fortunate enough to have the chance to ride there, and I think Mauritius has become quite tough, and a lot of people have bad idea about Mauritius, but when I was there I had no problems. I loved it.
And when you were forced to retire early, how did you fill your gap in between? I believe you got into the coffee business.
Yeah, bought a coffee shop for my wife. She always wanted a coffee shop, so I bought her a coffee shop. It was something that I was just going to start up and get running for her until it was doing well, and then go into training because I wanted to get back into the racing game. But we didn't realize how much work it was. It's a lot of work running a coffee shop, and so I never really got back into training. It took up most of our time, and it's not really something that I was really passionate about, but I did enjoy it, and it did also open up a lot of doors for me.
And how difficult was it to get your license back?
You know, when I first started riding work, I was quite happy just helping Glenn out at the yard and riding a bit of work. And with riding every day, a couple of people had said to me, why don't you apply, try and get your license back again? And I didn't think it was possible, so I didn't think much of it. But when I eventually thought, well, let me go and apply, I was very fortunate enough to have friends that were willing to help. I went to go and speak to my financial advisor at the time that was helping me out with my private things, and he organized for me to get insurance and that again, because I think that was two of the things that we had said. As long as you can get insurance, you should be all right. As long as you can pass a medical, you should be all right. So I went for a medical, quite a strenuous test that they put you under. Passed that, and then my financial advisor managed to get me insurance, and that was it.
And fitness-wise, has it been an easy experience getting fit again? No aches and pains? You feeling good?
In the beginning, getting fit took a lot of work, and I think, as you know, you can ride a lot of horses and think that you're fit, and you can do a lot of running and that and think that you're fit, but race riding, the fitness is just it's a different level.
And you've got two sons, and you say your youngest is keen on riding as well.
Yeah, I think my oldest son is too big. You would never be able to make it as a jockey, but he's got other passion as well. So my younger son is very passionate about horses, all animals really. I've never met somebody that loves animals as much as he does. So he's more than likely going to be going to the academy. Obviously, he's got to pass the test, you know, for size and that, which I'm pretty sure he will, because he is very small. It's scary because we know how dangerous it can be, and it's, you know, he's my life, so he's quite scary, but I wish him all the best. I know he'll do well. I'm really happy just riding, whether it means I'm riding one horse a meeting or 7 rides a meeting. I'm just happy being able to ride. I was very content with just being able to ride work, so being able to ride in races now is just a bonus for me. It really is, and I think for now I'm not really going to have any big aims or whatever. I just want to help Glenn as much as I can, the yard. I want to do the best I can for the yard, and just ride for as long as I can. I think I'm very scared to throw the riding away. I'm really scared I do something that's going to prevent me from riding again. That will be very harmful for me. I don't know how I'd cope with that again.
Yes,
afterwards.
I know you were very down back in 2013 when you were forced to give up. So let's hope you keep getting stronger and stronger and riding better and better. But we've seen you in the winner's box quite a few times already, which is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Pete, for chatting to us, and we wish you all the best going forward. Thank you.
It was lovely chatting to Pete this afternoon, and we wish him all the best in his comeback as a jockey and look forward to seeing his results on the racetrack.
One of the nice perks about Breeding to Win and the team is that they get to go visit some really magnificent farms. Lammaskraal is one of those farms, and the team took time to go and have a look at some of the foals and certainly some of the highlights that Visionaire is adding to the Lammaskraal stud.
Well, it's always a great pleasure to be here at Lammaskraal Stud. We're in the middle of foaling season, spring is in the air, and what some magnificent foals we're going to see on the ground today. And we're also going to catch up with Visionaire's progress.
Visionaire, South Africa's champion freshman sire in 2015, stands at Lammaskraal Stud. Foaled in 2005 by Grand Slam out of a French deputy mare, Scarlet Tango, the fine-looking liver chestnut oozes size and quality. Visionaire was top class over 6 furlongs to a mile and most famous for winning the Grade 1 King's Bishop Stakes at Saratoga and has a time form rating of 126. He had one season as a stallion in Kentucky before coming to South Africa in 2011, where he stood at Summerhill until last year. Lammaskraal Stud's successful young sire Visionaire looks to have a well above average sort on his hands in the form of the Thinker. The latter downed some high-class speedsters in a pinnacle stakes over 1,000 metres at Turffontein on Thursday the 14th of September to take his tally to 4 wins from just 8 outings. The Thinker dug down deep under a good ride from jockey Donovan Monsieur to deny Grade 3 Protea Stakes winner Isfan victory by a long neck. Among the notable scalps claimed by the Thinker in Thursday's race were former Equus champion sprinter Talk to the Stars, Grade 1 Golden Horse Sprint runner-up African Ruler, Grade 3 Tommy Hotspur Handicap Heroine Wrecking Ball, and Grade 3 Labola Sprint winner Riverine. Visionaire is an eye-catching stallion, being very well topped and muscular, with a strong shoulder, deep girth and powerful hindquarter. He is also a very good doer. The 2016-2017 stallion statistics clearly show Visionaire to be a sire with tremendous merit. His prominent showing on the sires list has been achieved from mostly covering C-grade mares. His best performed runners are by sires such as Personal Hope, Braschi, King of Kings, etc. After his move to the Western Cape, the quality of Visionaire's mares have dramatically improved. One aspect being that he is now covering mares by leading broodmare sires such as El Mufti, Jallard, Fort Wood, Badgerland, Eliodor, Jetmaster and Western Winter. To date, Lamaskrel have a very good bunch of foals on the ground. They are quality, good-boned, correct foals with very good head and eyes. Therefore, this has encouraged Lamaskrel to support Visionaire with 25 well-bred, well-performed mares by very prominent broodmare sires.
The Breeding to Win team have had a fabulous time here at Lamaskrel this morning. The quality of foals have been absolutely superb, and Visionaire is looking awesome too. It's been a wonderful morning, the paddocks are lush, so it's goodbye from us, the Breeding to Win team.
This horse produces a quality, precocity, and soundness. Whether they win at 2 years old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6, they just keep on running.
Taking the lead now for Rosie Napravnik in the Secretariat Stakes. Admiral Kitten on top.
He's
stallion. He's by Galileo, who's the best stallion in the world. He's out of a Pivotal mare, who's Pivotal's the best stallion in England, and he's a great horse.
The United States now striding freely. It's well clear with 100 metres to go.
Persuasive on the outside of Wu Hader. Winter's kicking on the far side though. She's so tough. Hydrate is coming out of low and one.
The United States being tackled by Haraki. The United States repelling the challenge of Haraki. And the United States draws clear to win the round at by 3/4.
Former Triple Crown winner Louis the King was retired to stud earlier last year. He stands at Sorrento Stud and is managed by Kerry Jack of Kerry Jack Bloodstock.
Louis the King blasts them away. Louis the King wins the Gardine Guineas. Second leg of the Sascock Triple Crown. It's Louis the King, Mr. Cricket, as you like up the inside. Louis the King is trying to fight them off. Mr. Cricket is on the inside, but Louis the King did it.
In the South African Derby, final leg of the Sascock Triple Crown.
Louis the King is still in front. He's staying on gamely. Here's Louis the King, and he has won the South African Derby.
Louis the King stands here at Sorrento Stud, owned by Terry and Annabelle Andrews, and we're going to be chatting to Terry this morning about Louis the King, how he's let down, how he's progressed into a magnificent animal. He's got fantastic foals on the ground, and Terry's just going to talk us through them.
He came in superb condition from Jeff Woodruff when he came down. He had his injury, and we were a little bit concerned. You know, the first time you let him loose in the paddock for him to gallop around, I know his owner, Tion, was all concerned. But he's handled everything superbly well. He's got a fantastic temperament, and he's just taken to it, you know, really, really well. He's a very easy horse to handle, and I think he's really enjoying his life now as a stallion. He's the only Triple Crown winner at stud in South Africa. He was a brilliant racehorse, and you know, he must get given a chance. He's very fertile and covers very well, and with no problems at all. Producing 9 Group 1 winners, I mean, he's definitely you know, one of the good stallions around. That also by Stormcat, he's got a very strong male line. Judging by his foals, then there's no reason that he can't be one of the good stallions around as well. Seeing the first foals, you're never quite sure, especially seeing nearly all of his foals are out of maiden mares. So you're always worried, you know, that I think out of the 7 foals that he's got on the ground on the farm here, 5 of them out of maiden mares, and they're all crackers. He improves their legs. They've got good legs, good bone, and a very good size as well, you know. So yeah, very, very nice foals. I would say most of them look very similar to him, and you know, fairly short coupled, but good looking individuals. The moment you put them out in the paddock, the foals want to gallop. You know, I mean, their mothers are like tired, and you know, the foal's busy lunging itself around, you know, galloping round and round the camp. They just want to gallop, and they're very much in your face. You know, they've got very confident. They walk straight up to you, most of them, and got a very, very good nature, which looks great. Bacardi Pink, Western Winter mare. She's a half-sister to Red Door, who's a Group 3 winner. Proper flashy foal, probably coming a little bit from Western Winter there as well. But beautiful foal, well conformed. She really shows off in the paddock. Nossa Joya, she's by Roy. She's a 4-time winner, half-sister to Nokwinko. Very flashy foal, 4 white socks, beautiful mover, decent size, one that will, I think, catch people's eyes, hopefully at the sales ring. Light of Dawn, she's a trippy mare out of Mitra, who won 5, bold black type. This is her first foal. The mother did not have good legs, she was unraced. Louis has sorted that problem out, so we're really chuffed. Very, very nice first foal. Pernell, an Ideal World mare out of No More Screws. She's a full sister to Cape Speed, short coupled, lots of scope, beautiful bone, something that we're really proud of. Also, especially seeing that it's a first foal. People that have got nice matings and things, we're willing to talk to them. We're willing to sort of come to what agreements we can to help him. But you know, I think there's over 20 mares on the farm here already that will be going to him. That's without coming up from, you know, out of other farms. So yeah, he should have a reasonable book this year.
Louis the King is by Black Minalouche out of a rich man's gold mare, Pamushna. One of the best horses of his generation, Louis the King won or placed in 11 of 15 outings and earned over 5 million in prize money. The versatile galloper won from 1400 metres to 2450 metres, with his wins not only including the Triple Crown, which of course includes the Grade 2 Gauteng Guineas, the Grade 1 SA Classic and the Grade 1 SA Derby, but also the Grade 1 Summer Cup. The beautiful-looking bay has settled in well in his new role. He has a superb temperament and is proving extremely fertile with an exceptional first crop of foals on the ground. A better bunch you couldn't wish for. Good size, correct, and with plenty of bone and substance. We look forward with great excitement to see his progeny put their foot on the racetrack. Louis the King stands for a service fee of $10,000, and if you're interested, please contact Kerry Jack on 082 782 7297, or you can contact her through her website, kerryjackbloodstock.com.
Well, internationally, everybody's heard of various stallions that are really global champions. You think of America, you think straight away, Tappet. We've got a son of his standing in South Africa called Coup de Gras. Then you think of Galileo. Now, Galileo is the equivalent of Tappet, but in Europe. And we've got a son of his standing out at Ascot Stud. Ashley Parker is one of the renowned experts in bringing top quality stallions to the country. You think of Al Mufti, you think of some of the other top sorts that he's brought here. He's now got global view. Let's take a look.
Stormcat himself is really becoming a sire of a broodmare sire of stallions. We think of Sky Misa, has done extremely well, and Glen Eagles has now gone to Coolmore to stand at stud there. He's out of a Stormcat mare, and then Speightstein, of course, and Speightstein's been an amazing stallion for Windstar Farms, also out of a Stormcat mare.
Meets the father of Frankel and last year's winner of the Epsom Derby Ruler of the World. Galileo was a champion in his own right, just as his father, the great Saddler's Wells, was. It's a bloodline that's produced more than 100 first-class winners.
fight and determination. We've witnessed a really first-class performance.
Soft Falling Rain is drawing clear. Soft Falling Rain has won the Godolphin Mile.
Under pressure that early, deep, and still keep finding in the straight. It just shows you how good this horse is and what heart he's got.
Well, the son of Western Winter, Red Ray, was retired to stud after a brilliant Grade 1 victory in the Mercury Sprint last year. The Breeding to Win team finds out how Red Ray is enjoying his stallion life at Klavervlei Stud.
Klavervlei are proud to announce that the brilliant Red Ray will retire and stand at the farm in 2017. An 800,000 Rand purchase from the 2012 CTS Ready to Run sale, Red Ray is a Grade 1 winning son of a triple champion sire and one of 5 stakes winners produced by the outstanding broodmare Nakarat. Red Ray, like so many outstanding sires, was a brilliant 2-year-old who reeled off 3 wins from his first 3 starts at 2 by an aggregate of 9.5 lengths. First time out at 3, Red Ray put up one of the performances of the season. He drew clear to record a 2.5 length win at the expense of Legislate, who would go on to record a trio of Grade 1 wins that season, including the Grade 1 Investec Cape Derby and Grade 1 Vodacom Durban July. He recorded an emphatic win in the Grade 1 Mercury Sprint, a race won previously by the great sire Jetmaster, over a star-studded field of sprinters. Among the runners beaten by Red Ray in the Mercury Sprint were Equus champion sprinter Talk to the Stars, Grade 1 winners Fly By Night, Gulf Storm and Real Princess, and star sprinters Trip Tease and Trip to Heaven, some of the truly elite of South African sprinters. A nominee for Equus Champion Sprinter in 2016, Red Ray ended his racing career having banked nearly 2 million Rand in prize money and won or been placed in no fewer than 7 Grade 1 races, including the Cape Guineas, Cape Flying Championship twice, and the Golden Horse Sprint twice. From the same Gone West male line as current US sire sensation Quality Road and the very promising French sire Wouton Basset, Red Ray is one of 20 Grade 1 winners sired by triple champion sire Western Winter. Red Ray is a full brother to Grade 1 Taquini Stakes winner Nania and Grade 2 Merchants winner and Grade 1 Cape Flying Championship runner-up Brutal Force, with the latter having fetched a then record price of 4.5 million Rand at the 2013 CTS Ready to Run sale. His dam Nakarat, responsible for this season's very smart 3-year-old Bishop's Bounty, is also dam of the talented stakes winner Adobe Pink and Valor Red. He is being syndicated into 60 shares at a share price of 100,000 Rand. His 2017 service fee is set at 12,000 Rand, split into a 2,000 Rand nomination and 10,000 Rand live foal fee. We would be delighted if you were to take up one or more shares and join us in the journey of this exciting stallion's career going forward.
Certainly some great offers out there for breeders, last minute changes, last minute looking for a bit of value. And obviously the stallions that we put on the show are open and they're available for business. And we certainly request that you get hold of those various farms if you're wanting to make a booking. Julie, lots happening. It's the spring season here going into the summer season. Summer Cup, not far away?
Not far away, and I can tell you, Grant, already we've seen some exciting prospects on the card. Some horses that are now stepping out, and I tell you what, I think we're in for a fantastic champion season this year.
It just runs one into the other, doesn't it? Because you go straight from Summer Cup, then you start with the Cape Summer season. We're looking forward to the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas. That's always a good day, and they certainly have some big intentions of growing that day as well. And then obviously all the way through for the Cape Summer season, thrown in the middle of that and just before the Landsrack Ready to Run sale, where there's 140 entries, Julie. Now, 140 entries with 16 of those guaranteed to get into the 2.5 million rand Landsrack Ready to Run sale. That's 12%, or around 12%. I'm not a mathematical genius just yet, but it's a great facility for buyers to be getting involved in, saying, you know what, I want to try have a crack at a 2.5 million rand race. This is the best option to do it.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's a limited bunch of horses, and you've got a chance, like you said, of getting 1 out of 16 to actually participate. So, I mean, where do you get that in the world? I mean, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. Now, Landsrack have made a few changes. Their magnificent marquee that they put up on race day, well, that's generally, unfortunately, not going to be for the race goers as such, but they're going to be entertaining all Landsrack clients from around the country. So a lovely national feel to it as well. But they do a great job in that tent, and I'm sure that all the guys that will be joining us for the first time on Landsrack Day will really relish the experience, Jules. So you must be heading down to Cape Town at some point.
Yes, I'm sure I will. Absolutely. Can't miss out on that season. And I think it's one of the highlights of the year. I mean, to kick off, especially to end the year and then to kick it off again with the Cape season is fantastic.
Last word before I leave you, your Christmas race day that you put together when you dress up as a little elf and run around and collect so much money for charity. How's things going with that?
Very good. I think we've sold almost all 10 races at the moment. So Teletrack Christmas Tree happens on the 2nd of December this year. It's pretty much the first meeting straight out of the Sansui Summer Cup at Turffontein Racecourse. And once again, Grant, like, you know, it's every year I think, oh, we're not going to get bigger than and better than this. And each year we do. You know, 500,000 Rand we raised last year for those children. We've started with bursaries now. 10 children have got bursaries from that tree. And now we're trying to start an internship within racing to filter these children into jobs where they can then go out and find and create their own job space.
Fantastic initiative. Are there still tables available? Can guys book?
Absolutely. 7,500 Rand to get in, you know, to buy a table of 10. And that's, of course, for the hospitality, and you enjoy the day with us in the Aquanaut room.
Fantastic stuff. So certainly if you want to get involved and you heard what a great cause it is, I think get hold of Julie Alexander. A great cause, great for racing as well. And we certainly know that the racing public can put their hand in their wallets at any time and support these initiatives as well. Hoping to do the show with you again in 2 weeks' time.
Fantastic, Grant. Looking forward to it. And nice to see you flying up and down now to Gauteng and doing a little bit of work.
Yeah, well, we have to work occasionally, don't we? But that's the end for our show. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we look forward to catching up in 2 weeks' time.
of 10. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Johns Farms Paddock Stakes.